One Punch Man Season 3. We all know how this long-awaited season turned out to be. But why did it turn out to be like this? Short answer, the production company Bandai Namco. Long answer, watch the full video. One Punch Man Season 1 was a masterpiece, no question about that. Studio Madhouse has always delivered amazing content and provided an amazing adaptation to Author One and illustrator Yusuke Murata's original work. Then, Season 2 aired, and the animation studio was changed from Madhouse to JC staff. Now, why was the studio shifted? It was because of a couple of reasons. One being the unavailability of the Season 1 director Shingo Natsume. He had brought in a dream team of freelance animators and collaborators from his personal connections, who were not permanent Madhouse staff. The director Shingo Natsume himself later stated that he personally wanted to continue working on One Punch Man, but everything could not go his way. Now, the production company could not wait for Shingo's availability to continue Season 2, as they reportedly wanted to capitalize on the hype created by Season 1 and not lose momentum. JC staff was available and willing to take it on a tighter schedule, and the studio was also seen as cheap and faster by the committee. When Season 2 aired, the difference was clearly visible. The dip from Madhouse to JC staff was evident. In short, it was at least watchable and to some extent enjoyable. But what came later was a huge dip, a disgrace, an abomination, a traumatizing experience. In late February or early March 2024, depending on where we live, after 6 years, Bandai Namco released the announcement trailer. And man, it was actually good. This hyped everybody up. Everybody was cheering that the show was back after 6 long years. And then in March of 2025, after literally a year of waiting, a PV trailer was dropped. Overall, it looked like still frames with some flashy scenes here and there. Fans were complaining that it looked like a slideshow and it was getting criticized. Then, veteran animator Kazunori Ozawa revealed that he was commissioned by JC staff to work on this trailer alone. Yes, you heard it right. The entire animation process was done by this single man. The main animation team at JC staff had no time to work on the actual anime and had to outsource the PV trailer's animation. And it looked like we got nearer and nearer to the release date, and there was literally no info on the staff working on Season 3. Then finally, as if reluctantly and hesitantly, the staff details were finally out, and Shinpei Nagai was revealed as the director for Season 3. Now, he has mainly worked on some ecchi, romance, and hentai stuff, so forget directing. He does not even have experience in working on action anime. But nonetheless, Bandai Namco somehow thought that he could properly direct this long-awaited season of one of the most popular action anime, and even he was really confused and shocked on why he got such a big action anime project when he was known for more subtle romantic works. So, then first they drop a recap episode. This was probably to buy time to fix up and polish the first episode as much as they could in their limited time. Like, I don't think this is the studio's fault as a whole. The root cause for all the upcoming drama was the production company Bandai Namco, who reportedly gave only 7 months worth of time for the studio to work on Season 3. Then, Episode 1 of Season 3 finally aired on October 12th, 2025. The only thing I could compliment was the opening song and the voice acting. Nothing else was in the slightest bit of the quality One Punch Man deserved. The frames were still, and the only thing moving were the mouths, not even the jaws. The animation quality standard was set so low that even a hand moving or eye blinking would startle me. There were some people out there saying that the first couple of episodes have no action and the budget was put all in the animation sequences. I hope that this was the case, and the animation would get better. Hear me out for a second. Are you okay with even non-action sequences of one of the most popular series being just mouth-moving PNGs? If the answer is yes, then you should honestly not be so kind-hearted and empathetic. There are levels to that as well. Your optimism just gives these greedy, money-hungry higher-ups a reason to not spend enough money on the so-called not-so-important scenes. Then, in episode 2, we get the biggest meme from the season, the Garo slide. Like, this was actually bad. Like, they could have made the grass move, added a shadow or a dust trail behind him, but they just inserted a literal PNG of Garo and just made it move. That's it. As episodes kept airing week by week, it kept getting worse and worse. Yes, there were good animation sequences just for like 10 seconds out of the 20-minute episodes, but it shows that if they were given enough time, JC staff could have cooked up some pretty good stuff, and the whole of One Punch Man Season 3 could have looked good if treated properly and given enough time by Bandai Namco. Another trash move was the adding of disco light filters on whole frames, like frames were literally made blue, green, yellow, red, and random frames for seemingly no reason. The frames would have looked better without the filters, like look at this Garo frame. And week after week, this filter craze got more and more, and they were being thrown into literally every other frame. It came to the point where frames without filters became unusual. Then, inarguably, the week of the worst episode arrived. Episode 6, Monthly Heroes. From the beginning to the end of this episode, this was the episode where even the art started falling apart along with the already bad animation. Mind you, the drawings of the previous episodes were actually pretty good. The only problems were the animation, maybe the sound designs. But in episode 6, it felt like it all came crashing down to the point where the only good things were the voice acting. Content from the manga was being cut and not adapted. There was censorship, the animators were tracing manga panels for anime frames. It was a huge mess. Very soon enough, episode 6 of One Punch Man Season 3 became the lowest rated episode of any anime in history on IMDb. Then, when episode 8 aired, the flashy animation of Flashy Flash caught us all off guard and swept us off our feet. Because the animation of this episode was decent. It was godlike when compared to the other episodes of Season 3, but still not near the level of animation we got in previous seasons. For Season 3 level, this was great, but compare this with any other greatly animated anime and it's pretty decent. But we finally got a decently animated episode in Season 3. And with this episode, we got proof that animators were working literally days or even hours before the episodes were out to air. In one of the in-between frames, we see the draft details from the studio and it was dated around a week before the episode aired. This means that they had little to no time to work on this season, and this explains the outcome. In the next episodes, we did not receive the same level of animation as episode 8. It dipped again. Not only that, they did something else. They adapted retcon content that is now non-canon, and not only that, they also heavily censored the scenes. Now, this is not only restricted to animation anymore. They are cutting out content, not only that, censoring content and ignoring canon content and adapting the retcon content that is now considered non-canon. This is now affecting the story of One Punch Man in the anime adaptation. Just how low can it still go? This season was really bad and only got worse or remained at the same bad shit level. And just when time was nearing for the final episode to air, news came out that this season is getting a second part, Core 2. This was a card pull by the production. They made us go through all that horrendous suffering and they thought, why not surprise them with more? People might have actually offed themselves because of this news, and they released this news right after Christmas. Just when fans were forgetting and in a happy, jolly, good old jolly mood, they had to ruin all the fun. I bet fans out there were hoping for a Christmas miracle to happen, praying that this season turns out good. Heck, even if Jesus and his whole crew appeared on JC staff's grounds, even they would not be able to see this anime. The damage is done and not yet completely done. If I'm not wrong, they might even have to adapt Cosmic Garo vs Saitama, one of the most awaited fights in recent time. After all 12 episodes of Season 3 Part 1 was aired, the release date for Part 2 was set to be sometime in 2027. If this second part has to turn out good, Bandai will have to start production as early as possible, giving JC staff enough time to properly work on it.